Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our today lecture. Our today topic is on market structure, and today we will discuss the very basic structure of the market, which is perfect competition, and then we see that under which condition there exists equilibrium under perfect competition. So, what is perfect competition? It is a situation in which there are large number of buyers and sellers which buy and sell homogeneous goods. What is mean by homogeneous? Homogeneous means same goods. Their name may be different, but their quality must be same. So perfect competition is a situation in which there are large number of buyers and sellers which sells and buy same or homogeneous goods. So let's talk about what are the characteristics of perfect competition. The first characteristics of the perfect competition is large number of buyers. So what is mean by large number of buyers? Okay, a large number of buyers mean if a single person cannot affect the price. As we learned earlier that there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. So if someone decided not to buy a thing, then this individual cannot affect the price of that good. Okay, let's talk about the laptop. If one individual decided not to buy the Dell laptop, then this individual behavior will not affect the price of the firm of or the price of the laptop market. So a large number of buyers. What is mean by large number of buyers? It means that single person behavior or single person cannot affect the price. If someone not decided to buy that thing, then this person individual behavior will not affect the price of that firm or that good. Large number of buyers, a large number of sellers. If someone decided to not operate, then this individual behavior will not affect the price. As the case of buyers, similar the case of the sellers. As in perfect competition, there exists large number of sellers. They may be in thousands or in millions, for example. So from these thousands or millions, if someone decided not to operate in the market, if he want to shut down its business, then this individual decision will not affect overall price of the market. As there are large number of sellers, so there must be a large number of supply in the market, so this will not affect the price of the market. So not a single buyer or single seller will not affect the whole market price. So large number of buyers and large number of sellers. You will have also now the meaning of the large number of buyers and large number of seller. So now I hope that you can understand what is meant by large number of buyers and large number of sellers. As it means that no single buyers and no single seller will affect the overall market of the overall price of the market. And the third characteristics of the perfect competition is homogeneous good. What is meant by homogeneous good? It means that different brand name but same quality. They may have different name, but the quality of that product is same. And the four characteristics of the perfect competition is perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge about goods and services provide price. As all of these are selling homogeneous goods, so their price must be same. So any individual have the perfect knowledge about the price of the goods and services. And the fifth assumption is that, or characteristics of the perfect competition is, firms are price taker. It is the most important characteristics of the perfect competition and imperfect competition. On the basis of this, characteristics we differentiate between perfect competition and imperfect competition. In perfect competition, the firms are price taker. No single firm can affect the price, as it means that the firm have no market power. Okay, the firm have no market power, and its market power is price. So in perfect competition, no single firm can affect the price. It have to sell its product on the on that price which is prevailing in the market. Okay, and the sixth characteristics of the perfect competition is that in perfect competition, the demand curve is perfect elastic demand curve. As you can see, on y-axis we have taken the price, and x-axis we have taken the quantity. As in the uh, previous page, we know that firm cannot change the price, so price is fixed here. He have to sell its quantities at the prevailing price. So price equals to demand, price is fixed, and demand curve is equals to average revenue. Why it is perfectly elastic demand curve? As price is same for every unit of quantity. And the seventh characteristics of the perfect competition is that free entry and free exit. Free exit. There is no role of government, and we also call it as laissez-faire economy. And the eighth characteristic of the perfect competition is that average revenue equals to marginal revenue, and this is because of same price. Every firm have to sell its next unit same to the previous price. So that's why the average revenue curve and the marginal revenue curve will be the same for perfect competition. So now let's talk about equilibrium under perfect competition. There are two conditions for equilibrium under perfect competition. The first condition is that marginal cost equals to marginal revenue, and the second condition for equilibrium is marginal cost cuts marginal revenue from below. Okay, let's first talk about the total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenue. How we can get the values for these, and then we will make the graph of these values, and then we make equilibrium for perfect competition. So here, as we know that in perfect competition, price is same for every unit. So price is same for every unit. Total revenue is equals to price multiplied by quantity. Price time quantity. Here the price is 4, and we are selling one quantity, so we have total revenue equals to 4. At this point, price is same, and we are selling two quantities, so 4 into 2 equals to 8. At this point, we are selling three quantities, and price is 4, so 4 into 3 total revenue equals to 12. So similarly, we can do for the remaining two total revenues. And what is average revenue? Average revenue equals to total revenue over Q. Here at this point, total revenue is 4 and quantity is 1. 4 over 1 equals to 4. At this point, total revenue is 8 and quantity is 2. So 8 divided by 2 equals to 4. At this point, total revenue is 12 and quantity is 3. So the average revenue will be 4. Similarly, we can do for the remaining two average revenue values. As we learned earlier that in perfect competition, price equals to average revenue. So you can see that price is equals to average revenue. Price and average revenue both have same values. So now let's talk about the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is equals to change in total revenue over change in quantity. So the first value is same, and for the second value, from here to here, we can get the change in total revenue by subtracting 8 from 4. When we subtract 8 from 4, we will get 4. And how much change occur in quantity? 2 minus 1 equals to 1. So change in total revenue is 4 and change in quantity is 1. So 4 divided by 1 equals to 4. And for this value, from here to here, the change is 4. 12 minus 8, 4. And the change in quantity is 3 minus 2 equals to 1. So 4 divided by 1 equals to 4. And from here to here, change is 16 minus 2, 4. And change in quantity 4 minus 3, 1. 4 divided by 1 equals to 4. So in perfect computation, price, average revenue and marginal revenue, these three values are same and their curve is also same. So let's draw the graph for AR and MR. On y-axis we have taken the price, which is 4, and on x-axis we have taken the quantity from 1 to 5. When we are selling one quantity, our average revenue is 4. When we are selling two quantity, our average revenue is 4. When we are selling 3, our average revenue is 4. When we are selling 4 quantities, our average revenue is 4. When we are selling 5 quantity, our average revenue is 4. So by joining these points, we will get the graph or average revenue. And similarly, marginal revenue have also the same values. So average revenue equals to marginal revenues. As we have average revenue and marginal revenue curve, so let's bring this graph into journal form and get the equilibrium. So there are two conditions for equilibrium. First one is marginal cost equals to marginal revenue, and the second, marginal cost cuts MR from below. So on y-axis we have price and on x-axis we have quantity. Here the MC cuts MR from 2 points, from point A and point B. The first condition is fulfilled both at point A, at point B. At point A, MC is equals to MR, and also at point B, MC is equals to MR. So what is the equilibrium point for firm? And we can tell it by looking at the second condition. The second condition tells us that marginal cost cuts MR from below. So only at this B point, MC cutting MR from below. As A point, MC is cutting MR from upward, and at this point MC is cutting MR from below. And there is another logic behind at B equilibrium is that, as you can see that from this point, by looking at this graph, we can tell that marginal cost value is decreasing. So as a rational producer, we will not stop production here, as we know that our cost will decrease more. So it will be beneficial for us as the cost decreases more. So when cost decreases, our profit increases. So from this point, cost is still continues to decreases, and after some time it will start increasing, and at this point, after reaching B, MC equals to MR. So before point A and after point B, we are facing losses. As this point after B, you can see that these are the values for marginal cost, and here is the marginal revenue. So if we take this point, this is marginal cost and this is marginal revenue. So the firm is facing loss, as its revenue is less than its cost. So the optimum level for output is point B. At this point, MC equals to MR. And there is another reason behind producing at point B. At point A, firm is producing less quantities as compared to B, where firm is producing more quantities. So by producing more quantities, firm can decrease their cost. Okay, so this is end for today lecture. I hope that you can understand this topic. So if you have any question regarding our today lecture, you can ask me.